Thursday, 4th June 2020. Mathematics, paper 2, calculator, higher tier. This paper is out of 80 marks. The total mark for this paper is 80. Try to answer every question. And if we divide 80 marks divided by 1 hour 30 minutes, which is 90 minutes, 80 divided by 90, it gives us 53 and 1/3. So that means 53 and 1/3 seconds for each mark. So if a question is 1 mark, try to spend not more than 1 minute on it. That gives you a rough idea how long you take on each question. And you must show all your working. Very, very important. And you're allowed to use your calculators. Don't forget that. Question number 1. Write 84 as a product of its prime factors. 84 is the same as 12 times 7. 7 is a prime number, so you circle it and I color it yellow. 12 is the same as 4 times 3. 3 is a prime number, you circle it and you color it yellow. 4 is the same as 2 times 2, and 2 is a prime number, 2 is a prime number. So the prime factors are 2, 2, 3, and 7. You can get these prime factors using your Casio Classic calculator. And you can watch one of my videos to see how to find the prime factors using the calculator. Or you draw the factor tree. Now, that gives you the prime factors of 84. Part B, find the lowest common multiple of 60 and 84. So what we want to do is, we've already got the factor tree for 84 from part A. We want to do the factor tree for 60. 60 is the same as 6 times 10. And 6 is the same as 2 times 3. 10 is the same as 2 times 5. And all these numbers are prime numbers. So I color them red or orange. Now, remember, as I said before, you can get all these factors, prime factors, using the Casio calculator. You're allowed to use a calculator for paper 2. So the calculator will give you these numbers. You don't have to draw the factor tree. And all the prime factors for 84, you list them. 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. You list the prime factors for 60, 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And then to get the lowest common multiple, you first of all select all the common prime factors. So that means 2, 2, 3, and you multiply all of those, and that gives you the highest common factor. And then after that, you multiply with the rest of the numbers, and the rest of the numbers are 5 and 7. Multiply 5 and 7, and that gives you a lowest common multiple of 420. Question number 2. A is a set of even numbers. B is factors of 10. Complete the Venn diagram for this information. A number is chosen at random from the universal set. Find the probability that this number is in the set A intersection B. That's the question we're going to do. So to do this type of question in the exams, first of all, list all the even numbers, and it has to come from the list above. The even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You list the even numbers. And part B, the factors of 10, all the factors of 10, 1, 2, 5, and 10. Now you use those. Now you can fill it in the Venn diagram. What is common between the two of them? 2 and 10. So 2 and 10 goes in the intersection. And what is left for A, when you take out 2 and 10, you're left with 4, 6, and 8. So 4, 6, and 8 goes in there. And when you remove 2 and 10 for B, what is left is 1 and 5. And all the numbers which you haven't put in A or B, you put it outside. And those numbers are 3, 7, and 9. And that's the Venn diagram completed. And that's for 3 marks. So it's very important to put the numbers in the right places. A number is chosen at random from the universal set. Find the probability that this number is in the set A intersection B. How many numbers are in the set A intersection B? There's 2 numbers. The 2 numbers are 2 and 10. So it's just 2 numbers. How do we work out probability? The probability of an event, that's the general formula. In this case, the probability that the number is in the set A intersection B is given by, the general formula is the number of times the events occur over the number of trials. That's the general formula for probability of an event. Number of times the event occurs over the number of trials. Very important to remember that because you use it time and time again in all probability questions. In this case, how many numbers are in the universal set? 2 numbers. So we put 2 on the top. How many numbers in total? 10. So it's 2 out of 10. That's what you do to do that probability questions. Question number 3. Carlo puts things into small boxes and into large boxes. He puts 6 things into each small box. He puts 20 things into each large box. Carlo puts a total of 3,000 things into the boxes so that the number of things in the small boxes is to the number of things in the larger box is 2:3. Carlo says that less than 30% of the boxes filled with things are larger boxes. Is Carlo correct? You must show all your working. The way I do this type of question is by highlighting the numbers to make sure you can easily see them, because it's quite difficult to find these numbers when the question is very wordy. So I'll highlight the 6, highlight the 20, the 3,000, 2:3, the 30%. So when I start to do the question, it helps me to pick them out. So in an exam, you can highlight them, or you can just draw a line or a circle around them. So let's start. We have small boxes is to large boxes. So it says 2:3. So now if we multiply 2 times 600, it gives us 1,200. What we do to the left, we do the same to the right. 3 times 600, it gives you 1,800. So now what we have is 3,000 divided by 2 plus 3 gives you 5. 3,000 divided by 5, that will give us 600. So 3,000 divided by 5 will give us 600. And then 1,200 divided by 6, it gives you 200. And 1,800 divided by 20, it gives you 90. And why do we divide by 6? Because he puts 16s in each small box. And why do we divide by 20? We put 20 in each large box. So the total is 200 plus 20, 200 plus 90, it gives you 290. For the large boxes, it's 90 for large boxes divided by the total, which is 290. 90 divided by the total is 290 times 100% to change it to percent. It gives us 31.03%. So the answer is no, because 31.03% is not the same as 30%. It is 31.03%, which it is not less than 30%. It is more than 30%. So we have shown that they say 30%, but we got 31%. So the answer is no. Question number 4. Complete the table of values for y equals to 5 minus x cubed. And then on the grid below, draw the graph of y equals to 5 minus x cubed for values of x from -2 to 2. This question, you can complete the table manually, or you can put this function in your calculator and get the values from the calculator. And then after you plot the graph, you can watch one of my videos to show you how to use the Casio class Wiz calculator to get the values for the function to plot the graph. So with your Casio class Wiz calculator, if you enter the function y equals to 5 minus x cubed, you will get the table where you have the column for x and the column for f of x. And those numbers are the ones you use for completing the table. So there are instructions. There's a video with instructions on how to do that using this Casio class. Once you've done that with the calculator, you take the numbers and fill it in the table. So -2 will give you 13, 0 will give you 5, 1 will give you 4, 2 will give you -3. Very important to fill them in the correct boxes, because that's the total. It gives you 2 marks in the exams. Don't put them in the wrong boxes. Make sure you write them in the correct boxes. And you can check them without a calculator, like substitute 0. 0 cubed 5 minus 0 cubed is 5. And you substitute 1. 5 minus 1 cubed is 4. Now you use those points to plot the graph. -2, 13 is this point there. -2 to the left, 13 up, that's point. -1 to the left, 6 up, -1, 6. 0, 5, 0 up, you go to 5. 1, 4, 1 to the right, 4 up, you mark it there. 2 minus 3, 2 to the right, -3 down, you mark it there. And you join it with a smooth curve. Do not use a ruler. No ruler. It is a curve. It's a cubic curve, and it's the x cube is minus, so that's why it's coming down. So it is a curve. Don't use a ruler. Question number 5. Work out the value of x. Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. It is a right angle triangle, 90 degrees. X is the opposite, 34 degrees is the angle, and 178 millimeters is the hypotenuse. So the first thing we do is we label the triangle: opposite, hypotenuse, and the adjacent. And we look at SOHCAHTOA formula. You can see it there on the right hand side. SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Which of them are we going to do? So if you imagine you have your eyes at that angle there where there's 34 degrees, imagine you put somebody's eyes there. Let's put the eyelashes there. And the person is looking that way. That will be the opposite. If that's the eyes there, that's the opposite and the hypotenuse. We want to find the opposite, and we know the hypotenuse. So which trigonometry ratio has O and H? And that is sine. And since we want to find opposite, I've colored opposite in yellow. So if you cover it with your finger, the opposite is given by sine times hypotenuse. So if you write sine 34 degrees is x divided by 178 millimeters, the opposite is sine of 34 degrees times the hypotenuse. And when you multiply that, it gives you 99.5 to 1 decimal place. It will give you 99.5363. You round it to 1 decimal place. Put a line after the 1 decimal place. 3 is less than 5. So it stays 99.5 to 1 decimal place. Don't forget in exam to give your answer to 1 decimal place. Question number 6. A is given by the column vector 3, 4. B is equals to the column vector 5 minus 2. Find 2A minus 3B as a column vector. So we would write 2 times A, 2 times 3, 4, minus 3 times 5 minus 2. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. So the new column vector is 2, 6, 8. Minus 3 times 5 is 15. And 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. So it's 6 minus 15. 6 minus 15, which will give you minus 9. And 8 minus minus 6, minus and minus becomes a plus. So it becomes 8 plus 6, which is 14. So your answer is minus 9, 14 as a column vector. Question number 7. The diagram shows a right angle triangle and a quarter circle. The right angle triangle ABC has angle ABC equals to 90 degrees. The quarter circle has center C and radius CB. Work out the area of the quarter circle. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. You must show all your working. The way I do it, this type of question is by completing that circle so that it gives me a visual, something to look at and to help me to focus. And the next thing that you need to know is you need to know Pythagoras theorem for a triangle. A squared is equals to B squared. C squared equals to A squared plus B squared. And I've written it there on the right hand side. So using that Pythagoras theorem, we want to work out the radius. The radius is represented by this line CB, which I'm circling there. And that is given by 9 squared, the hypotenuse, 9 squared minus 6 squared, and square root of that. So it will be square root of 81 minus 36, and that gives you square root of 45. That square root of 45 is the radius of that circle. The next formula that you need to know is area of a circle. Area of a circle is pi radius squared. Pi times the radius squared. And I've written the formula on the right hand side. So because it is 1/4 of a circle, that means you divide it by 4 after you find the area. So you write pi radius squared divided by 4 because you're finding just 1/4 of a circle. And the 1/4 circle, I represented it with that pink shade in there. So pi times square root of 45 squared divided by 4. Using your calculator, that will give you 35.3429. And students always forget to give the answer to 3 significant figure. It says on the question, give your answer to 3 significant figure. So the first 3 numbers, 35.3, put a line, and the 4 is smaller than 5. So you leave it as 35.3. So give your answer to 3 significant figure and show all your working. So the area is 35.3 meters squared. If you want to put the units. Question number 8. Tariq buys a laptop. He gets a discount of 5% off the normal price. Tariq pays £551 for the laptop. Work out the normal price of the laptop. So we know a discount of 5%. So 100 take away 5. It gives you 95%. So we say 95% is £551. So what is 100% equals to? We can use the method of cross multiply. So 95% is equals to 551 pounds. 100% is equals to X. Because multiply 100 times 555, 95 times X. And then you will divide by 95. So 100 times 551 divided by 95, it gives you 580. So this is the cross multiplication technique I've written at the top right there. A divided by B is equals to C divided by D. When you cross multiply, that means A times D is equals to B times C. And you can rearrange it and solve it if it's in an equation where you have numbers. Right. Part B, John invests £6,000 in a savings account. The savings account pays compound interest at a rate of 2.4% for the first year and 1.7% for each extra year. Work out the value of John's investment at the end of 3 years. The formula you need to remember is this one. Value after 1 year is equals to the multiplier times original value. How do we get the multiplier? And the original value is given in the question. Original value is 6,000. So you use 6,000. Multiplier, to get the multiplier, you will add 2.4 plus 100. So 100 plus 2.4%. It gives you 102.4%. And then you divide by 100. So you add 100 and divide by 100. That will give you 1.024. Because it's 102.4 divided by 100. So it's 1.024%. That's how you get the multiplier. Get multiplier, add 100, and then divide by 100. So multiply 1.024 times 6,000. So that formula there is very important. You can also write the formula as new value is equals to original value times multiplier to the power n. This n at the top there is the number of times or number of years. If it's for 2 years, n will be 2. For 3 years, n will be 3. So that new value is 6,144 after 1 year. So now that becomes your value now for the next investment. So your new original value is that 6,144. Now you're investing it at 1.7% for 2 years. 1.7%, you want to get the multiplier. You add 100 and then you divide by 100. It gives you 1.017. And you square it because you're doing it for 2 years. So 6,144 times 1.017 squared, which gives you 6,354.67. It is money, so you give it to 2 decimal places. And that's your answer for that. Question number 9. Aisha recorded the heights in centimeters of some girls. She used her results to work out the information in this table. The least height, 142 centimeters. Lower quartile, 154 centimeters. Interquartile range, 17 centimeters. Median, 162 centimeters. Range, 40 centimeters. Aisha drew this box plot for the information in the table. The box plot is not fully correct. Write down 2 things Aisha should do to make the box plot fully correct. So to do this type of question, you look at the box plot and look at the things that you need to change on it. Now, is the median correctly plotted? In this case, plot the median at 162, but they have plotted the median at 161. So the median was plotted at 161 instead of 162. So that's one mistake. You can look now at the upper quartile. Plot the upper quartile at 171, not 172. So the upper quartile was plotted at 172 instead of 171. So that's a mistake done. That's the second mistake. Or you can say it as the median has been plotted at 161 and then the upper quartile at 172, which are the wrong positions. And that would give you the mark. So that's just another way to say the same thing to correct those two mistakes. And it's a 2-mark question. Question number 10, simplify 1 over m squared all to the power 0. Any number raised to the power 0 is 1. That's something you need to remember. And the formula for that is a to the power 0 is equals to 1. So that you just need to learn that. And when you see that in exam, any number or fraction raised to the power 0 is 1. And that's for 1 mark. Simplify, part B, simplify 8 bracket x minus 4 divided by bracket x minus 4 all squared. You look at the numerator and the denominator. Look at what is there to cancel. You can write x minus 4 in the numerator and x minus 4 squared in the denominator. You write it twice, x minus 4 in bracket times x minus 4. X minus 4 is found in the numerator and denominator. So you can cross that off. And in the numerator, you're left with 8. And in the denominator, you're left with x minus 4. So your answer is 8 divided by x minus 4. Part C, simplify 3n to the power 4 w squared all in bracket cube. The cube means you multiply it by itself 3 times. So you can write 3n4 w squared times 3n to the 4th w squared times 3n to the 4 w squared. Now you can multiply the numbers. So we would have, let's correct this because that's not 9. We have 3 times 3 times 3 will give you 27. N to the power 4 times n to the power 4 times n to the power 4. You add 4 plus 4 plus 4. 4, 8, 12. It gives you n to the power 12. W squared times w squared times w squared. You add the powers 2, 4, 6. So it's w to the power 6. And this one was 3 times 3 times 3, which gives you 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. So your answer is 27, N12, W6.